What is up, my beautiful people? Welcome to the Jonathan Bena podcast. And if it's your first time here, please feel at home. How's your week been? Well, mine has been great. Just some really busy days at the desk. Just chasing deadlines and creating awesomeness, as always, just before I head back to the bush for another sprint. This week's episode is a rather unusual one. It was recorded at 4,100 meters above sea level, around the warmth of a campfire on a rainy and very chilly night in the mountains. In this week's episode, we'll take a deep dive into the lives, traditions, and history of the Gishu and Sabinyi people. It might feel like a cultural discovery for some, and it might also feel like a lecture on traditional African culture. I'm joined on the podcast by Alex, one of the guides from Mountain Elgon National Park, a true son of the land who narrates this mysterious story with its many contrasts. So go ahead and grab yourself a cup of hot chocolate or your preferred tea or coffee and brace yourself for some crazy stuff this Sunday. We will explore the uniqueness of this mountain, which protects the world's largest high caldera and still is the world's largest caldera base. We will certainly talk about the ancient ritual of circumcision, as well as the more controversial subject of female genital mutilation, or as it's called today, FGM. Our journey of discovery will also lead us to the story of Kintu, who many know to be the first Muganda, but very few know to have been one of the sons of Masaaba, the most sacred ancestor of the Bagisu people. And as the raindrops beat against our small iron sheet shelter, and the sparks from the campfire fill the air, we will also learn about the linkage between the Sabinyi people of Mount Elgon and their Jewish brothers from biblical Jericho. Now, this episode will particularly interest folks like myself who are very much invested in ancient traditional African practices, as well as those seeking to learn a bit more about the peoples of these lands. I must leave a disclaimer though, the sound quality on this particular episode might not be as crisp as usual. Of course, we didn't have the luxury of carrying our usual heavy podcast setup up the mountain, but I guess it's in the rawness of the way it's recorded that we'll find some really great fascinations. So yes, thank you so much for tuning in, and let's meet on Sunday.